Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today we have Kazuda Red. A little bit of a deck guide here. Why red? It's pretty simple. Trench Run, Heroic Sacrifice. That's mainly it for red over blue. Blue has some different units that you can argue are better, but red has these two cards that are just disgustingly good that we can negate the ability of. We also get Thermal Oscillator, which allows us to draw the better cards more often, and then we get Black One, which synergizes with the deck quite well. Kazuda's ability is kind of weird, but it makes sense. So you get to make a friendly unit lose all of its abilities and then take an extra action. So basically you just make it lose the ability and then you can do a normal turn. Just a little niche thing for this because some people forget about this or, just how the thing works. Certain things like events will have a thing that says they gain, and then in brackets or in quotations, not in brackets, in quotations, an ability. It's generally bolded. So for the case of stay on target, it gains when it deals damage to a base, draw a card. It would actually not have this ability if you use the Kazuda thing on it. But for entrenched, its attached unit can attack bases. The attached unit is not gaining the ability. This comes into play for our events, like Heroic Sacrifice and Trench Run, because they're actually not being defeated or taking the damage from the thing, because they are losing that ability. Once again, it works with Stay on Target, but Stay on Target is actually a beneficial ability, so we're trying to avoid using those cards and use cards that instead have drawbacks, but are also insanely powerful if we can negate them. For turn 1 options, we have 2 resistance fighters and then 2 regular fighters, which also share the Nebu keyword. All of them obviously vehicles, all pretty standard stat lines for a space unit. Fireball obviously being the only one that is affected by Kazuda's ability here. And sometimes Black One can hurt, because if you want to, throw an R2 or a BB-8 onto him and then swing with a Trench Run, you're actually going to lose the 1 power from it being upgraded, because that is a card ability. Some playlines with the deck. Obviously, we have the playline. This is a very fun one of turn 1 unit, turn 2 Trench Run. If you want the initiative, if you don't have the initiative or you aren't getting it, you chuck R2 on there. It's now a 4/3, and then you swing. That's 8 damage turn 2. And you can still play a 2-cost unit. And then the turn after that, you can pump again and play a Falcon, flip onto the Falcon, and play. Obviously, it all depends on what kind of deck you're playing against, what you want to do. Against more control-heavy decks, R2's probably not going to see any play because your units are going to be dead. You need the action economy to play multiple units and be able to do stuff. Kazuda's ability and Blue Ace pair really well together. Generally, if you're ambushing into something, that will be what you're readying because you're intending to defeat it on the attack. And then from there on out, you can use Kazuda's ability, remove the on attack, and then swing for 4. It's a very good stat line for a ship. It has the right traits, not keywords. Does have a nice keyword of ambush, of course, and it works well. And then, of course, we have the line of any resistant ship and BB-8, and there are actually a surprising amount of resistance ships in the deck. Why Kazuda? Kind of already gone over this, but just more examples. We have the Millennium Falcon and the Stolen AT Hauler. We won't have to pay the 1 upkeep for the Falcon. It comes in readied. It's perfect. It doesn't work with Trench Run, of course, unfortunately, but that's pretty easy to get around. And then the Stolen AT Hauler also doesn't work with Trench Run. It does work with Heroic Sacrifice because it's not restricted to just fighters, but it's also just a very powerful unit, once again, depending on the matchup. But if you're able to negate the effect, you have a turn 2, 4, 5 that your opponent is going to struggle to get rid of. Some little sideboard cards, some of which are in the main board, as you will see with my version of the deck, for certain matchups. For Han 1 Green, we have Chopper. Their main goal as Han, especially if they see you playing Kazuda, is going to play a turn 1 Falcon and then turn 2 resupply. You're going to not let them do that. And by that I mean they're going to turn one Falcon. You're going to play Chopper. You're going to claim. You're going to swing. They're going to lose a card out of hand. You're unfortunately going to lose a card out of hand. You're not going to use Kazuda's ability on Chopper. This is very important. Because now they have lost 2 cards out of their hand, plus the card they've played. Because they would have used 1 card for Han ability, and then Chopper's getting rid of another. And then they would play a unit. And if they play a unit, you still have the option to claim and swing with Chopper again. Now this does mean your hand going to be tiny, but their hand also going to be gone, which means they're not going to have that turn 3 7-drop that everybody fears so much, which is brutal to get around. Because Chopper, he just works. For Han 2 ECL, we have Red 5, obviously. They're playing units that are already going to be damaged. We just keep putting more damage on those units and hopefully get rid of them. And then for standard ground aggro decks like Sabine, where they have lots of 3 health and 2 health units, you have Bombing Run. Or sometimes even if you have to Bombing Run in space, you Bombing Run in space. It just sometimes has to happen. And then for decks that are using lots of pilots, or they're using General's Blade, like Anakin Data Vault, you have Disabling Fang Fighter, mainly for that turn 2 General's Blade, and then the Aether Sprite for decks that are using things like, I can't think of the name, Emergency Powers, I believe it's called, where just you give 1,000,000 experience tokens to a thing. You just get rid of it. These things are also very handy for getting rid of Entrenched on units that you have pilots on already, so they kind of just work. And then finally, we have my list here. I'm going to move my face out of the way. It's pretty standard, gone through all the cards already, but this is it. The link will be in the description. I don't really have any super special explanations for these cards. I've kind of already gone through my reasoning for them. But yeah, we'll play some games now. Alright, it's Rex, Droid Manufactury. Welcome to Unity of Purpose. This is where Bombing Run is going to be my friend, which is why I'm going to keep this hand. Yeah. I don't need both Bombing Runs, but I'm going to put down Cassian, 1 Bombing Run. Means I get black 1 in the R2 turn 2, or turn 1. Sorry. He claims. That's unfortunate. Yeah. I'll Heroic Sack just to get the card draw. It loses me the +1, but I think it's worth it. Wow, we're just getting all the things that I already have. Yeah, we'll do that. Bit of a rough start, not ideal, but it's fine. Everything is fine. It's just that I want to lose the abilities. R2's not bad. None of this is great, if I'm being honest. This is why we mainboard Bombing Run. Okay, Kazuda in a base. Make that lose all abilities. Go to base. And I'm actually going to R2 onto there, defeating that R2. The greedy play. Black 1 can go down. He's got lots of cards in hand. And he does not have this game. Yeah, sure. Look at that, Bombing Run. It did its thing. It did its thing. Alright, so, Talzin Red. Welcome to... I still play this deck after 4-star ban. That's what I'm calling this guy. And thanks. Mulliganing this just because, you know, maybe more ideal. Something like this. Perfect. Black 1. What's the game plan, Stan? Raise R2. I like R2. But unfortunately R2 is going to go down. Right? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Another heroic sacrifice. Yes. Fireball is going to take 1 damage this turn. It's kind of sad. But I think it's worth it. Is he going to power it? What's the plan here, buddy? What are we doing? Okay, GI. I don't know how I feel about GI. Trench run that. And that's okay, because guess what? Falcon. This is why Falcon is such an amazing card. Oh my... I always do that. I always do it. He probably has an answer, but I want to be greedy and get this BB-8 to work. So I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna regret it later. What does he have? If he plays Force Throw, I'm thinking I just cry myself to sleep. Because, like, what the hell? He could also... He Force Lightnings. Oh, that ruins everything. Wait. And then I just claim and a heroic sack. Oh, it worked out so beautifully. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Goddamn Talzin players. Like, I know you guys, you still get Force Lightning and you still have good cards, but there's just better options. He's requested a rematch. How do I accept this? Alright, so game 1 is against everybody's favorite deck that they're not at all tired of. Han 2 ECL. I'm going to opt for the black 1. Have initiative. You know, this is when I would sideboard in the red 5s, obviously. But we'll see. This Han player hasn't decided whether or not they want to keep their hand. Oh, okay, they're mulliganing. It's kind of a good sign. I am going to keep that spare the target because it gets rid of some really annoying things. Like, if I see turn 1 Grog... Okay, see, this is good. I mean, it's not good, but it's good enough. Because I have the trench run. I don't know what to do here. This is actually not good. I lied. Because I could BB-8. Yeah. It is unfortunate, because I can't ready him, but I don't want to get beat the crap out of by red 5. So I'm actually going to black 1, and I'm going to heroic sacrifice in the hope of drawing, yeah. In the hope of drawing something more useful. He didn't play anything that turn, that, okay. I mean, I'm not hurt by that. I want the Falcon because it is Kazuda flip turn, but I get the feeling that I'm going to blue ace into red 5. We'll find out. See, like, what is he doing? I'm so confused. Like, the problem with this is I'm losing the 1 power, but then I can trench run. See, that hurts, but not as much as this is about to hurt for him. I really want to kill that red 5, but I'm not going to. Oh, and then I have... Okay, I can spare the target her. I can blue ace into that. I can trench run into his base. This is gonna work okay. I mean, trench run just wins me the game right here. If he doesn't kill my Falcon. But if he does, that's okay. I have ways to push through here. But I think this might be my game. Grogu definitely would have been a better thing for him, and not swinging this red 5 into any of my units was kind of weird. He kind of let me get a lot going up here. This queen is just not going to get him where he needs to get. He could have blue leader, but that wouldn't kill anything. Eager escort fighter, if he has it, would be a sideboard card. I don't see him winning this. I really don't see him winning this. He plays the arc, so he's going to do 2 damage to something, and then he's going to do 4 more damage. Like, he's going to kill my black 1, and he's betting on me not having... Oh! Wait. I'm stupid. Okay. I didn't think this through. But I, for some reason, was sitting here thinking, oh yeah, I can just trench run the Falcon. Yep, this is the whole Falcon doesn't work with trench run thing. Sure, why not? And then he doesn't have a way to push enough damage. He's going to pass. I'm going to claim. And this is my game. I'm just going to say GG. And bada bing, bada boom. We beat Han2 ECL, which is currently a meta deck. Obviously, not his greatest game, but I won, so I'll take it. Next game. Alright, Han2 ECL. I can't see this going wrong at all. Okay, forced to mulligan. He gets initiative. I don't like not getting initiative with this deck. Like, there's a lot of decks where I'm like, okay, no initiative, that's fine. That's a new one. And he gonks it. Okay. Yeah, it's whatever. Lightmaker, I feel like might be huge here. Heroic sack, then play the N1. That's the game plan. Kazuda, bada bing, heroic sack, base. He's gonna gonk and probably play that stupid 4-cost Sentinel in space, and I'm gonna cry. He pose. Yeah, that's getting waylaid. Or spare the targeted. Not putting up with that. I'm gonna put Kazuda on this one just because it does have the sap. Yeah, you know... How does it not have any damage on it? Who did he defeat? Oh, he gonked. That's why it's cheaper. Oh. Oh no. That's that's not it. That is not pretty. Trench Run is gonna be what needs to save me here, but he's gonna restore it all, and it's not gonna matter. That's brutal. All my damage gone. Everything is gone. Everything is bad. Everything is very, very bad. And no pump. I got one hero exact this game. There's nothing I can do except swing the pace. Like, it's just, I'll sit here and accept my fate. I was doing good until he dropped Figure of Unity, which is not something I've seen Han players use. But yeah, that's it. That's the games with Kazuda. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.
Hello there.